Albany, New York presents the perfect test market for not only Dead & Company's first shows, but some of John Mayer's first shows in 2017, 2019, and 2022. I was fortunate enough to go to the opening night both in 2019 when the North American leg started off in July, and just recently go to the 2022 World Tour opener for the entire World Tour in the same city, in the same venue. John and his crew rents out the arena. MVP Arena now used to be Times Union Center. And they get a couple days to test out the set list, test out the sound before they embark on at least the North American leg, and in this case in 2022, the World Tour. I want to take you on a journey of my experience that first night, and we want to look at some of the set lists that continued after this. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, New York, New York, and also Washington, D.C. This will be an installment where I look at set lists even past my show, see what's going on in the world of John Mayer, what's going on in the live show, what guitars is he using, and how do you guys like it as fans. It's your boy Conservator's 34, and I want to present the 2022 version of This Week in John Mayer. Oh, I forgot my mask. Dang it. Back to the car. So after going to opening night, this tour, this Sob Rock tour, is a little bit of a switchback from the pre-Search for Everything era. By that I mean the last two tours, 2017 and 2019, that were here in the United States, you got some unique stuff. John was searching for everything, and he gave us everything. He gave us an acoustic set, right? He gave us a trio set back in 17, and that was awesome. But now he has a full show without an intermission, right? Like he had previous tours. He has just a sense of bringing this new album to life, which is much different than the Search for Everything. Some people don't like it. Some people like me like certain songs like Wild Blue. I think they bring some awesomeness to the set list. Even Last Train Home that you're listening to right now, I do like this song on the set list. But he's going back to his traditional show flow, right? There is no, at least for opening night, there is no acoustic pair of songs. There is no trio break, right? It's just a full band the entire night. Even Your Body is a Wonderland is played with the full band, which is kind of a different thing. So we are seeing some changes there. Speaking of changes, another thing that I noticed, there was no Why Georgia played until the 5th actual show of the official tour. That is actually the longest time since Why Georgia has been a song John's played live that they've gone without playing Why Georgia. There's only one Why Georgia play as I record this on February 24th, 2022. So that was very shocking. I mean, really, they have not gone more than a tour date prior to this in any given John Mayer like lengthy tour without playing Why Georgia, even as John has mixed up the set list more and more. So that was pretty interesting to see. The next thing I want to talk about is the guitarist who is actually has a presence on Instagram. So let's take a look at this here. So let's take a look at the guitarist Greg Fillinganes. He also has support keys here for the rest of the show, especially with all the SFX type of keys here in the sob rock stuff. He's doing that support. There's a main keyboardist and piano player on the other side of the stage. But let's check out Mr. Fillinganes. He's bringing life to a recent song, but Helpless. I love what he does here. I look forward to see if he is a soloist on any other songs that come out of the catalog book here for the upcoming weeks of the show. He's doing the darn thing. You can watch this full thing on my Instagram, IG ConcertViz34. Follow me and get access to this video. So that's Mr. Fillinganes on stage. Let's look at him off stage. He's a pretty funny dude here.
So every once in a while, you come across a person that is so legendary, they're almost immortal. And I am so proud to finally say that I have met the immortal Carl Mayer, ladies and gentlemen. Carl Mayer. It's Carl Mayer. It's Carl Mayer right here. The immortal. The man, the myth, the legend, the Carl Mayer. And he happens to have this struggling little brother, and he does something for a living. I don't know where it is.
Follow me on Instagram, @John Mayer. I sing, I play the guitar, check my records out. I'm going to be huge.
Yeah, he's going to be huge one day. So
that's John's father, by the way, on the couch.
Okay.
John's father stays at a facility in New York City. So that's MSG Night 1. They're all chilling backstage. Now, Night 2, the main drummer for the touring band tested positive for COVID-19. So, Mr. Fillinganes has another guest.
Okay, so we're backstage Night 2, the Garden. You know, things have changed a little bit. And, you know, we're not going to do quite the exact same set as you're about to find out. But, you know, I'm walking around, and apparently there's been a security breach. I don't know who let this guy. How did he even get? Oh, okay. Well,
that's the homie Questlove from the Illadelph. Shout out to Black Thought and the rest of the Roots. They're one of my favorite hip hop groups of all time. They were still like their whole catalog's solid. So check out the Roots if you. I'm sure most of you have, but if you haven't, check out the Roots. So yeah, that's Mr. Fillinganes, and 15,000 followers. He's growing and growing since the tour started. We'll see. You know, he deserves this attention, man. He's a talented musician who has an awesome personality, and it's nice to see, like, just like David Ryan Harris, awesome musician who's collabed with some of my other favorite artists like Dave Matthews Band. There's so many great people that come on tour with John, and also they have great personalities. We saw David Ryan Harris do a little bit of a parody of a post-game press conference with John last tour as well. So, one of the silver linings of the drummer of this touring band catching COVID is the fact that we got some acoustic sets at MSG Night 2 and Washington, D.C. And I think this should be something that sticks around. That's my biggest takeaway from week 1. Keep the acoustic set. I missed it thoroughly in the opening night, even though I had a great time. John showed MSG Night 2, and just last night, as I record this on the 24th, back on the 23rd, he went to DC and did some more acoustic stuff. Did a couple songs with a full band setup with his old drummer JJ, who stepped in. But this acoustic stuff from MSG and some of the stuff that's coming out of DC the morning after, this is John Mayer at his best. When he has the mix of acoustic and electric, it is joy. That's what felt like I got a value for 2017 and 2019. That's why I went to a bunch of shows more than average. The average tour, I go to one show or maybe two shows. But in 2017 and 2019, I went to a bunch of them. So this acoustic set needs to come back. It needs to be a permanent thing. Hopefully, John, if you're watching, please, you gotta have an acoustic set in the middle of your full band set. You can do it. You just did. You're doing it as we're watching the video. This is so beautiful. It's so beautiful to see this here, and we really need it. We need a mix. It'll give legs to this tour. You'll get people to travel to more stops, as some of the Northeast folks will have a chance to come to the Long Island event show coming up in March. Boston has 2 shows. Shout out to Boston, right? We need an acoustic mix with the electric, and we also need some more heavier things. In this same show, John did a little mix of a partial of Something's Missing, right? We need more heavier things. I know John said he didn't kind of know or memorize all the lyrics, but if he can take 15-20 minutes just to kind of get back into some of that stuff. I love Something's Missing. I love Clarity, right? And these were played. It's not a shot in the dark to have a mix of acoustic and electric. It is a shot right to the heart of what John Mayer fans want from the live show. One of the big things that was kind of interesting about Albany and most of the tour, John did not whip out a Strat, not even for Gravity, not even considered for some songs where he may have a Strat, like Slow Dancing in a Burning Room a couple tours ago still was on a Strat despite his PRS move. Then it was switched to the Silver Sky. But on Still Feel Like Your Man, John brings out a Corey Wong signature Strat. And Corey Wong, he is an awesome rhythm guitar player from Volpec, and he has some solo stuff as well. It was interesting that he was a nod to one of his buddies. They did some jamming last year, and there's the Strat right there. There's his Strat, the Corey Wong Strat, that is, and that's the only Fender Strat that he has used to date up through DC, is for Still Feel Like Your Man. So it'd be interesting to see if he brings out any of his own signature Strats or the black one. But right now, the only Strat all tour is Still Feel Like Your Man in Philly, Philly. Shout out to South Philly, Wells Fargo Arena. Go Flyers, go Sixers. This is the only time we've seen a Strat. Take a look at it. You may not see it at your local show. I did not see a Strat at all in Albany, but it's interesting. He has to market his Silver Skies, but I love that Strat sound. It's not much of a noticeable difference to the average human ear, but listen, I'm a Strat dude. I got my own Ultra, Fender American Ultra Strat I bought a couple years ago. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens with the Strat. But homie is going all PRS with the Silver Sky, and also there's a silver PRS he uses for Edge Desire. So here we have a little bit of a breakdown of what's going on with the set list so far. 5 shows in: Albany, MSG ×2, and DC. Sob Rock obviously leading. It's the Sob Rock tour, so it's leading it. Continuum shortly behind. Now the covers, I'll say this: some of these are partials, like the Beautiful Ones cover that they do as far as the Prince cover that David Ryan Harris sings in the intro part of Slow Dancing. So there's only a little bit of that. And then also Gravity is considered a John Mayer trio cover. I still think it's Continuum. I don't like the setlist.fm mindset there of saying it's a trio cover. I know it came out on the trio album first, but it's not a trio cover. It's a Continuum song. It won a Grammy for how it was on Continuum. All right, Search for Everything's after that. Room for Squares, Battle Studies, Born and Raised, Heavier Things, Paradise Valley, and Where the Light Is Are the Tide. Again, it's kind of interesting because I feel like In Your Atmosphere is an unreleased song. I don't consider it like Where the Light. I know that's what they do, but it's unreleased. What we would do in the jam band or Dave Matthews Band communities, respectively, it'd be an unreleased song. So I think Heavier Things should be played more. I think Clarity, Something's Missing Fully, and Only Heart and Split Screen Sadness. These are great songs. Daughters, obviously, in the rotation, has been played. I think they should be played more, and it's an underrated and underplayed album at this point in the band's career, in John Mayer's touring band's career. I really think it should be played more, but I actually like the sob rock stuff. Wild Blue comes together so great live, and so do some of the other songs as well, as you've even heard throughout this show, right? From Last Train Home and Shot in the Dark. They're beautiful. And I think Shot in the Dark acoustically, keep that, Jonathan Clayton Mayer, keep that, all right? Keep it acoustic like that. It's dope. We'll see what we get in the coming weeks. I did say after the Albany show, I did a live stream, and I said, guys, give John and the band time to bust out more of the catalog. They did do that in NYC and Philly and DC, but you still have about, there's a lot of songs that are constants throughout the set list. It's not a dead set, right? It's not a Fish set. It's not a jam band set in general. It's John Mayer, but I think that since he started with the Dead, we've seen a little bit more variety, and we did have at one point more acoustic and electric variety in that sense, and I hope that is my main takeaway. After this first week, I hope that they do a mix of acoustic and electric and full band and John's solo stuff on the acoustic. I hope we have a mix of that stuff. It would make this tour so much better, and the difficult challenge of having a drummer test positive is something that has turned into a beauty for this tour. So let me know what you guys think. If you want to be on this show, I'm planning for future weeks because I'm not going to be at any other shows. It looks like Boston's not going to come through. I got other stuff I have to do. So if you want to be on this show, I want to interview some people, get some 1 minute, 30-second clips of people talking about this. And I'm going to try to do that via Instagram video and some other avenues. So if you want to be interviewed and you go to a show for a future week, message me through Instagram DMs, through Twitter messaging, or through this. Just put a comment on this video, and we'll get you on this this show. It'll be a pre-recorded segment, and I'll add it to the final edit of This Week in Mayer. This Week in Mayer coming every week that John Mayer is going to be in this North American tour for the current leg of it. So just hit me up, YouTube, ConcertViz34, Instagram and Twitter, also ConcertViz34. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. I will see you guys next week. Peace. So after I completed this video on Thursday, February 24th, 2022, was doing some editing, was going to put it out Friday morning. It is now, as I record this part, Friday, February 25th, 2022, and there has been an update that 4 shows have been rescheduled. The Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania show, the show on Long Island, Belmont Park, New York, and the 2 Boston shows have been moved to May. And the Boston shows is a bummer. They're going to be moved to weekday shows instead of the weekend shows that they had. So no love on the weekend there. A lot of this stuff, I'm surprised they were able to reschedule these so quickly. If you're like, hey, why did they not move these Boston shows to another weekend? Why did they move this show here and there and everywhere? Well, these arenas are booked through June with some of the potential playoff considerations for the Penguins, for the Islanders, although they're not going to make it. But just in case, the Islanders have the whole dates, and then the Boston Bruins, who will not make the playoffs. It's hard, and I got to give kudos to the staff with the John Mayer crew and the venues, because they could have easily canceled these shows with the uncertainty again. These professional sports playoffs and some other events that are going to be going on.
It's gonna be every little thing, everything I do.
Again, May 5th,
not
Pittsburgh,
enough for
May
you.
7th, Belmont Park,
Don't wanna
May 9th,
lose it.
Boston Night 1, and then
I'm
May 10th,
not
Boston Night 2.
trying.
We'll talk
One
more about
day
this in
you'll
the coming
see.
weeks. And again, if you want to
Sabrock
keep one
in
here,
Boston,
hit me
but
up,
it's a
DMs or
weekday.
Instagram.
It's gonna
Message me on
be
Twitter or put in the comments below. I want to get people that are going to go